Am I enlightened? Whether I said yes or no, both would just be a story. And all stories are just filters or layers placed upon your awake aliveness. And story making is the only thing that it's apparently keeping you in this felt separate state. The question that's continually being raised is, am I enlightened? I don't mean to poke fun at the question, but it comes from a profound misunderstanding that I think has been perpetuated by different gurus who appear holier than thou, and in some cases intentionally perpetuate that. You'll never get that from me. I can tell you that there is a difference between the awakened mind and the unawakened mind. The difference here is that the mind is completely burned up. There are no delusions of mind that enter into this field. They enter now as if, well, they're just not seen as anything separate than just what is. It's just another happening. Stories and thoughts, activities of mind. Sure, they come, they arise. They're just not given any belief or energy. They're just seen, just like everything else. Thoughts and activities of mind are seen as completely transparent. Not even necessarily that they're false. There certainly can be false thoughts and beliefs that arise within the awakened mind. They're just not believed in. They're seen as completely neutral and just blowing on the wind. The mind is just a hanging leaf blowing in the wind, moved by concepts. But it's not what I am, and it's not what you are, and it's not what anything is. Everything is just a movement. Everything is just what's happening. Am I enlightened? It supposes that there's a being here capable of being something other than what is. This entire thing is just awake. Being is just awake. This is being, and this is fully awake. And there's nothing that comes in between pure being and awake aliveness. And you could say that that is my fundamental experience. I have no problem using words like me, mine, although they're not really what's happening here. It's just the language that we agree upon. Am I enlightened? Whether I said yes or no, both would just be a story. And all stories are just filters or layers placed upon pure awake aliveness. And nothing gets in between pure awake aliveness and pure being, because nothing could. There's no separation there. There's no separation here. You are this also, even right now. There's no separation between what you think is you and this state, the pure awake, alive thisness. Am I enlightened? It's not up for interpretation, because interpretation is just story making. And story making is the only thing that it's apparently keeping you in this felt separate state from simply this. Could anyone be enlightened? Of course, it would just be a story that an unenlightened mind would say, or place upon a being who is awake, fully awake, and undiluted by filters and concepts of mind. Of course, there are no unawake beings. All being is awake, and that awakeness appears occasionally as ignorance or delusion. There's only one thing here. And if I were to say I'm enlightened, I would have to say this is enlightened. And I don't have any issues with saying the second one, because the first one, to say I'm enlightened, implies specialness, implies separation between a self here and a non-self there. It implies a hierarchy between a focal node of awake aliveness apart from other nodes of non-awakeness. It implies a separation between awake aliveness and delusion. And there is not that. There's only this. And this is pure awake aliveness. And this is the nature of being. And all beings, no matter how much they believe in their separateness, are this pure awake aliveness. There's no difference between this and this and this and you. It's all one thing. It's all one being. And that being is fully awake and fully alive in you now. Feel into this and you will merge consciously with the singularity that already is. apply no specialness to self or others, because there is none. All my love.